My Hometown with Jamie and Pascal. And today we've got a great show. Today we have Chock Chapple. You know him as from the Golden Bachelorette. And I guess you know him as Joan's final pick and her fiance. So we are so happy that you are with us today.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, I mean, I know you're known by many other things than just Joan's.
Well, I was
pick
the guy
and
that
Joan's
beat
pick.
out Pascal. That's how I want to be known. That's how the world knows me. That was the guy.
I
So.
love it. That is true. That is true. I
Yes.
mean, you guys are good buddies now, good friends. But was it always that way? Had you ever really seen each other as a competitor?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
let's call it what it is.
Yeah, that was in the beginning. We were a competition, but we end up having such a great friendship.
Yes.
Yes.
With. It's amazing. It's amazing what happened from the franchise with the guys. How we get along, how we keep in touch, how we, be part of each other's life,
Yeah.
which is very important.
It is. And I know, and you're visiting Chicago and you've been out and about, and I want to get to all of that. But what I think we want to know is just how you are doing and how Joan is doing.
Doing great. But let me back up to the show.
Oh, okay.
We were on an episode. It was a date, and it was at a bowling alley. And Pascal called me out. And he goes, you kind of hogged Joan. And I was like, no, I didn't, but I did.
Right? Right?
And it was
Well,
kind of, but you take two guys, and that's a great way. I had this happen earlier in my life where you're competitive, but then you're a lot alike and you respect each other. And that was just something that happened. That was probably one of the breakthrough moments that Joan and I had where we really had something special. And it wasn't that I purposely did it, it just happened. But Pascal did call me out. So,
Right. Well, I mean, I think you knew what you wanted and you were going for it. I think you were known on the show as, really not letting others sort of get in your way of that. And, I think it worked out well for you. You also knew that you had this great connection with her
yes.
from very early on.
I mean, from the beginning, I think when she picked up Chuck for the first one-on-one date, we all knew then she had definitely feeling for Chuck. That was the guy, and I know that was the guy to try to beat. Right. And it's
that
hard.
you were the guy that tried to beat?
No, him.
Okay.
Yeah, him. I think you knew that she was developing a lot of feeling with him, and at one time Chuck left because he had an emergency with his mom pass away. And you could see Joan's behavior and demeaning. Then she was kind of very upset, and he was gone. And when he came back, she was so happy, and I knew that in my heart, I knew that he was the one, definitely the one.
Right,
yeah.
right.
But Pascal made an impression on me the first evening because you get out of the limo, you meet Joan, and then you go into kind of the reception room, the living room, and I go, who is this guy with this accent? And then the next morning, tractor trailer, semi, pulled up at the mansion, and it was all of his clothes.
And
they unpacked it for like 3 days, and it was all just meticulous color, shoes, all this.
Yeah, I mean, I had my little closet over there, had a small room, and that's...
Look, he is sharp. He's a sharp dresser.
Thank you.
Which is one of his qualities. You look very sharp today.
Well,
You
I'm
look
just
really
kind of
good.
casual. I'm just who I am.
You're just you're just here. Well, that's just your normal way. But I think that we've talked a lot about your the Mansion Men, your relationships from your season of the Golden Bachelorette, and just how striking it is, and that I think you set a new tone. Although we almost saw that tone completely, shot with this new season that was supposed to happen with the Bachelorette. But you guys you were role models. You set a tone in terms of how you interacted with each other, but that was natural, right?
Well, Jamie, I'll tell you, one of the coolest things, and I think it comes with maturity, is there was a guy that didn't even kiss Joan because he goes, I knew you two were meant to be. Oh. And so you see the young kids that it's, tongue down their throat. They're just doing everything crazy. And with maturity, you respect, the relationship. And I don't think we're as, Pascal, we are A-type personalities, but we're not competitive like young bucks. Like I've already read some of the things, the guys are going, well, I'm going to sue ABC because my career's over. Career didn't even start. I mean, come on, give me a break.
Right. Well, I think, this show is all about thriving in your golden era, reinvention. So we talk a lot about being I'm going in my golden and you are in your golden era.
Past my golden.
we've brought in golden. Golden is just a great time, anything above 50. But I think like you said, Chock, you sort of see things a little bit differently. You have a different perspective on things. And, you can definitely feel that with the Golden Bachelorette and the Golden Bachelor, right? Yeah. And
Well, I can't
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I want to, I want to go a little bit more deeper with Chock. First of all, you from Wichita. Tell us a little bit about you. How did you end up getting into the show? I know that you had a couple of challenges in your life. Then you got through a divorce once, and then you had a girlfriend who passed away of brain cancer, and we talk a lot about that. So tell me a little bit about, how did you end up in Wichita? What the career you choose? The little bit about your business, and not only that, but how did you end up going into the Bachelor? Who signed you up? I don't think we ever had that conversation.
And it's I think it's a great story.
Yeah.
But I'm from Kansas. My dad, obviously, my mother, they both grew up there. And then it was interesting. My mother goes, and she moved away. She went to med school, and she moved away. And she said, if you're going to stay in Wichita, I'm going to give you a plane ticket every year of your life because I want you to go travel. So up until the day that I got married, I got a plane trip anywhere in the world I wanted to go. So I got to go see a lot of cool stuff. Go to a state college, come back, get into the same business my dad was at. And Wichita has been good to me, and it's a smaller community. It's not like Chicago. I mean, I saw more people last night than I've seen in Kansas in 3 years. But it's been good to me, and it's been my hometown. But how I got on the show is my daughter was living in L.A., Taylor, and she called me up. She goes, Dad, I don't think you're going to like what I did. And you're going, what happened, And she goes, a friend of mine saw an advertisement for the Golden Bachelorette, and she goes, and they were roommates in college. They'd all graduated, and she goes, we thought you'd be great for it. So here's the story, and this is the honesty of it. My daughter, there's two ways you can apply for the show. You can apply yourself or you can nominate someone. I thought the whole time she nominated me. She actually applied if she were me. So we get down to the last second and doing the final interview, and the producer goes, I got to tell you, you're not as funny as your application. And I'm like, what did my daughter do here? So that's how it happened. And I was married, 2 great kids, and then was in a long-term relationship, was engaged. She unfortunately came down with cancer and passed. And I went through, and I think a lot of people do this, I went through a point in my life going, I really just don't care. I'm going to do some crazy stuff. You care, but I go, I'm going to do some stuff that's outside of my four walls, my box. And I would have never have done this if I didn't go through that with Kathy.
Right.
And I just said, hey, why not go do this? I had no idea. And I'm proud to say this, too, because I mentioned the young guys on the current show, and I don't know any of them. It's just things you read. But I didn't even watch an episode. I had no idea what I was getting into, and I did that on purpose because I just wanted to be fresh. And that's part of my personality, too, is like, I don't want to know the questions. Let's just talk. Let's figure it out.
And isn't that the greatest part, again, of the Golden Bachelor franchise part of it, which is that you guys are not coming in sort of so much now seeing how famous that everyone can be, and your intentions are a bit different. It's maybe just around that you are, we have only so much life to live that we know about,
Yes.
and so let's live that.
And this
you're
is just
doing
such
something
a small
different.
part of it.
Exactly.
Such a very small part.
Right.
There was one guy on the show that I think he had some interest in being a little bit more famous, but it wasn't overtly. It was, and the guy's got some talent and wanted to do some stuff. And there's some other people that go, and I got to tell you, I'm just the luckiest guy because I've got 0 talent, I've got 0 skill.
Well, I'm sure
and
others
I've got,
might argue
I wouldn't
with
say. I
that.
mean, I had the chance. Jamie and I had the chance to see you commercial about the
Yes.
snoring. What is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is that called?
it's Inspire.
Inspire.
The Inspire
Love it.
implant. And even though, it was a contract, I will tell you now, I live and breathe that product. I actually have it. I had it before the show.
Yes,
we talked about that. And I think it's not for everyone, but if I can't tell you in the airport how many wives have come up to me and said, does that thing work? Because I'm about ready to kill my husband.
Yes.
And I want the snoring. And,
Yes,
and I
I
have
hear
a
it.
lot of my friends with the wives will go sleep in other rooms or something like that. And it doesn't 100%.
You do, Jimmy?
Yeah, I don't. I make him sleep in
Oh,
the
you-
other
of
room
course.
Okay.
if it happens. So I'm not leaving my
But
bedroom.
it's a potential solution, and it's a better healing way of life. So I'm a proponent of it. I've done some other branding stuff that I just believe in it.
Yes.
And from the Red Cross to Cologuard to and I'm not plugging them now. I don't need to. Just if I'm going to do it, money's money, but I don't really need it. But if it's something I believe in, I'm behind it. 100%.
I love that. By the way, you don't want to talk about it, but the Cologuard is, I haven't done it, but I love that idea that you're able to sort of send something in, and they say that it really works.
Well, my mother passed from colorectal cancer.
Oh, really?
So it was a little bit close to the heart. And I go, I'll do it for free.
Right.
And, it's not plugging the one company, it's the system, but they're the ones that have that. And I firmly believe in it. Any prevention that you can do in pre-diagnosis and it's not 100% accurate, but I think it's like 90 or 95.
Definitely.
I think people should do it.
Yeah, go get a colonoscopy.
So when you said you're not an actor, I mean, like you said earlier, I think, the commercial you did was outstanding.
And I appreciate that from you.
I was very, very impressed, and I think I called you. I said, hey, what a great job. You look handsome, and you did a series of them, which was very good. And the funny part of the commercial, we talk about it a little bit during our weekend, and the guy who really was the snorer was Gary. Greg. That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one. I started the trend of the snoring because Greg was my roommate, and I throw him out of the room because I said, get the hell out of here. We can't sleep with you. And so that's the snoring become a little bit a segment of the show.
I think that it could potentially ruin marriages. I mean,
definitely.
Yeah.
And then the person who's not snoring has anxiety then when I go to sleep, wondering if it's going to happen, because my husband only snores sometimes.
And I know, I'm sorry to jump in, but I know your viewership is just exploding and great for you guys. But I'll tell you, every lady that's going to watch this is going to say, I want to kill him. If anything I can do to stop this snoring.
Yes.
So it does help, but it also helps you lose weight. And we don't have to spend a lot of time on this. But you sleep better. And I was on one trip, and it was actually involved my father. I ended up sleeping in the bathroom, and I put towels because he snored so bad. And I look at his wife, and I go, how in the world do you live through this?
Yeah, I believe it. We actually have talked about doing a show on just sleeping and, why sleep is so important. So that is a whole other topic.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll have you be on it. But I think the idea that you are you're leveraging your fame, right, or your celebrity, for lack of a better word, to work with some brands that matter to you, and and you're being intentional about it. Have some reached out to you that maybe you aren't into or you've said no to?
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's good to know.
That's good. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the relationship now. I know then. I'm going to go back a little bit as, I was one of the third finalists, and, as you know, I left being the third one, and I left for a reason, and I wanted to share that with you. I left because I felt like, my feeling was not as deep, and I didn't feel as connected as you and Guy felt. And I felt like if I was staying in the equation, I will basically interfere into your happiness, guys. And by me leaving, I think it was a good chance for Joan to pick up the right guy instead of looking at me a little bit and say, oh, maybe not. So I think to me, I knew in my heart that you were the runner-up, and I just felt like it was time for me to leave. Maybe I didn't want to be the rejection. I didn't want to be rejected. So, be honest. And I said, if I leave, I'm taking myself away. But I didn't do it. I didn't do it for a selfish reason. I did it because I felt like you were a much better fit with Joan than I was, and I didn't want her to have any doubt in her mind than I was there. So,
and I know that about you, and I respect you. But that's the Goldens, and I kind of heard the story, and my philosophy is too, or my personality is, I go, Joan, that's between you and Pascal. What happened? Even though you've got a TV camera there, but Joan was very complimentary of you.
Yes.
Saying, and I don't want to speak, because you don't want to speak for other people. You weren't there. You don't know the facts. But the way I understand, you go, it's not me. And that's okay. Because the last thing, how many people do you know that are in relationships that aren't happy?
Right.
Or especially getting in one where you go, hey, I really like you. I care for you. You could even say love, but I go, that's not me. That's not us. That's 100%. And you had guys that did that. Mark came up to me, Anderson. Again, I don't want to speak for him, but when he left, he came up to me and he goes, invite me to the wedding. And it was just really cool. Where I don't see the young guys. I mean, I think they're just young bucks that are,
right.
They're 5 minutes of fame, or they think they love them or something like that. So I just cannot speak highly of the other guys. I don't call them cast members because they're friends. And it's really been great because there was 24 of us. Most of us keep in contact. So that I just want to stress to your audience out there, we're friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
And
have
I
a
think
very
that
good
is what
friendship, yeah.
everyone sort of wonders, but not so much wonders, they love, and you can tell. You can tell that it's genuine, it's authentic. I don't think I've heard you say that, Pascal, so I think it's really good that you're sharing that.
I wanted...
Pascal's so reflective.
No, I
It's so
wanted to
amazing.
say it, but you remember we were trying to get Chock about a couple months ago, and I wanted to say that in front of him
Yes,
to our
yes,
audience.
but so I
and
don't-
unfortunately, we couldn't have him. So now we have him in here
Yeah,
in
you
our
wanted to
hot
get
seat.
that off your
And I wanted
chest.
to just say that, then, to be honest with you, I mean, I had feeling for Joan, but my feeling was not as deep as yours. And I didn't want to interfere to her happiness because in the bottom line, I want her to be happy.
Absolutely.
And me being in the equation might put some doubt, or I don't know how the feeling she had for me, but I knew that you were very invested. I knew that you were the runner-up, and I didn't want the rejection. I said, hey, let me leave before she reject me. Men don't like to take rejection, and I think that's the way I felt. And I think she did the right choice. I think she picked up the right guy because I mean, as more as I get to know you, I really enjoy our conversation we have. I mean, he came to Chicago a few months ago, stayed with me for 5 days, and we had those deep conversations. And I really enjoy our friendship, and I cherish that friendship with him.
Yeah, you've been a good friend.
Oh,
Been a
it's
good
so,
guy.
it's so
Yeah.
wonderful. I mean, that is what is like the most heartwarming out of these shows. I mean, and I think where things need to get back to, which is the intention there was to have a love story. It was to find something. Your love story became both with a woman, with Joan, and a love story really with
a
these
friend.
guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, and how
And you see
great.
so many fans go what was really enjoyable, just the relationships with the guys.
Yeah,
And,
I do think some of the other seasons have had that, but yours really stands out in that way.
I
They're such
think the
great guys.
level of maturity our season had and the camaraderie among us make us really stand out versus the other season. I just think that, when you look at Gary, the first season, the women were very competitive. There was no competition in us. There was all support. When somebody was going on a date, on a one-on-one date with Joan, we all sit around the couch and say, how was it? How did you have it? What did you do?
Yep.
We're very excited for each other. And I think that's the difference between the maturity of our age and the young children.
So, Chock, you said you went in really blind to this and you hadn't seen any episodes of the show. I mean, of course, you knew what the show was and all of that.
I'd actually read about it, and
Okay.
it was Gary's season that, kind of catapulted, and it had a lot of fans. So I was familiar with the premise of the show, the series, but really no details.
Okay, and so when
I didn't even know what the Bachelor Mansion was. And then
Right,
I've got to tell
okay.
you, too,
Yeah.
I have the Golden Rose in my office. I didn't even know what the Golden Rose was until afterwards. And they go, you've walked by it 10 times in the rose ceremony.
That's so
and I'm going, oh, that's what that was.
That's
so
funny. So what then when you were inside of this then, I mean, I guess you didn't really have expectations, but did it, how did you feel about it when you got there? Were you at ease with it? Were you uncomfortable? When you saw Pascal, we know that you got better. What do you think?
the reason why I'm chuckling
yes.
is my daughter goes, you can't go home on the first night. She goes, that'll
yeah.
embarrass the family. So that was my goal.
was
And
your
I didn't know
goal.
what was going on. I was like, my daughter Taylor said, you can't go home the first
Well,
night.
Taylor,
so,
you exceeded your goals too.
and then that first rose ceremony, I'm sitting there going, what is all this about?
Right.
So, but it was great because it was just something new. It was so fresh to me and something, so it was very enjoyable. And of course, I got to meet my fiance and, start another chapter of my life.
Certainly.
It's experience of a lifetime.
Yeah.
What is the chance of us, of anyone going to a show like that and meet people? And I mean, I think to me, the experience alone was, and like Chock, I didn't watch anything besides when my daughter signed me up. I said, what is that? And I started watching the Gary season, the couple episodes, and understood the concept. Okay, there is 25 women, he's going to pick up one of them. And so the reverse, there is 25 guys, she's going to pick up one of them. But I've never watched one of those shows. So I came up a little bit, I was naive. I didn't know what I was expecting. I was kind of a little bit uncomfortable because, as you know, I'm a high maintenance and, I'm like,
Really?
look, I like my space and
Yeah.
sharing room with
Right.
stranger wasn't my thing. So, but, I said, stick with the program, go with the flow and have a good time.
Well, and it was interesting. Halfway through the show, he was doing his own laundry.
right? Well, it looks
No,
cooking.
no. What in name? Mark was doing my laundry, and Mark was cooking for me because
Mark could
as
cook.
you know, you've been spending
Yeah.
time with me. I don't cook. We go
Yeah.
out every night
Yeah.
for dinner, you know. So
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark is a worker.
Yeah,
I mean,
Mark.
that guy from day one was in the kitchen, he and Gil, and it was
Right.
really a pleasure to see those guys. And
know.
Jordan can cook, and
Yeah,
you know,
that was one of my favorite parts of the episodes. I mean, of course, I love Joan, and again, you were really rooting for her, and her just intentions of the show were so pure. But the most fun was watching you guys in the kitchen, and then like with this funny music sort of playing over your antics. I loved that part of it, and you guys should have your own little show, the guys.
And Jamie,
just
I
the
think
guys.
it's the same thing with almost every house. Is the kitchen's the focal point, and we spent so much time in there.
Yeah.
And it was, and they, the production company, however we want to call it, they're very deliberate of getting you in the kitchen, making you work together to kind of build some dynamics. But it went so well.
Yeah.
It really did.
Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about, of course, what's going on with The Bachelorette and this cancellation. I'm so curious as to what your take is on it.
Okay, there's a new term. I shouldn't say new, but Kevin O'Leary.
Yeah.
I go to the internet to get information, but doom scrolling.
Well,
Do you know
we
what
all
doom
do it.
scrolling
Yes,
is?
Of course. Yes.
Where you're kind of looking for doom.
Yes.
And was at a party with Pascal last night, and I said, NASCAR, people go for two reasons. One's to see who wins. Number two, is there a crash? And I cannot believe the interest that, I should say, the American public has in this, that people haven't even watched the show. First of all, you've got a person, a family, you've got other people, so you've got to be considerate of them. And I don't know any facts on it or anything like that. I do think that ABC was right pulling the season, without a doubt.
Right.
I personally know Rob Mills. He's a business guy. I mean, he knows things that we don't know, and you just see so much out there happening.
Who is Rob Mills?
So he is in charge of unscripted for
Oh,
ABC.
okay.
And he's a sharp guy, and I've spent a little bit of time with him, and I'm impressed with him. But people have to realize too, it's a business. It is a business, and people want entertainment. And the series has been around a while. And just reading this morning, where some people going, bring it back where you don't know somebody, you're getting America to love somebody new. Well, let's get somebody that's well known, that's gonna. But looking for drama, I think, is just a disaster for everybody. But the world, the internet has gone there. You look at it; it used to be a lot of information. YouTube's great. I mean, I can figure out anything to do on YouTube. But you look at it and go, what you see now is really more problems or people just dancing. And I've got a little joke I'm going to tell you about the dancing. So I go, because you'll have this Instagram life, which I could really care less about. And I go, well, I will never dance on Instagram. But then I go, what's it pay?
but to
Right.
talk
Right.
a little bit about the controversy of the Golden Bachelorette, I mean,
The Bachelor.
the Bachelorette.
Right.
Okay.
Not
yeah.
the Golden.
The Bachelorette.
You have golden on your brain.
I know golden is always golden for me.
Always golden.
Before all the controversy, she had 1.8 million followers. Today, she's got 2.8 million followers. In a Twitter or something like that, she got over 5 million followers. So my prediction, she's going to be a fantastic entertainment regardless of the controversy. And I agree with ABC to put it out, but I guarantee you that an Hulu or another network is going to pick it up because that sells.
Yeah.
That sells. She's got already she's got more followers than Mel first episode of The Golden Bachelor.
Right.
So that'd be foolish not them to put it out. I understand the controversy, but remember one thing. Today is the good news. Tomorrow, nobody will remember about the news.
Right.
So it will come back. It will come back.
ABC, no doubt, did the right thing in canceling it. I just think that, did they do the right thing in even considering that she was going to be the Bachelorette? They probably chose wrong, but they did it because they were looking for that drama. She and I, to your point before, talk about, that people just want to watch this train wreck. I mean, I think that she's had such a big fan base from her other show, and the connection of the other shows sort of like leading up to The Bachelorette. It's just shocking that they wouldn't have known that, what, like the production wasn't speaking to production. That's what I don't get either.
They knew, Jimmy.
Because they had to have known that she had been over to his house sleeping with him before, the night before the...
That's something that, I'm sorry to jump in, but that's something that bothered me. But let me, in the business world, we have a saying going, it's easier for me to run your business than mine.
I love that.
And it is, so true because, it is a business. They're bringing entertainment and trying something different. I get it. Because I always say, if we were in a board meeting or a meeting going, how do we bring some life back into it? Because they had some series that weren't that good. And when I say good, it just didn't bring the viewership, didn't bring the advertising. So you do that. And then we all think we know what happened, but I don't factually know that. But I don't blame them for trying something new. I don't.
Yeah.
But then you look at the hair on this, and it's not that good.
Right.
But
But I don't want it. If I can, real quick though, and this is selfishly and I don't want to speak for Joan, but Joan and Keith they are Bachelor fans. They live it. They love it. And you're going, what's going to happen to the future of the franchise? But all of us in our personal lives, business lives, you have those things where you go down. Can you come back? Can you make it bigger, stronger? Can you learn from it?
Right.
But then I go back to is you've got some human life in here that's what I'm a little bit more concerned about of going, but you've got to be a different person to want that attention.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one in 300 million that would want that type of attention.
But the thing is, you and I and every one of us went to a criminal background checkup. So I'm surprised the network knew the story. I mean, that's 2013, warrant for domestic violence and batteries.
2023, right.
2023. So that's not something new. And on top of it, she's got to go to court in August to, be swear or whatever it is. So the network knew exactly what she was. And they're still choosing us because of the controversy. I don't think they were expecting the video to be released that quickly. Okay, but it did.
Oh, I think they'd still be going. We would have watched the show last night had that video not come out.
Oh, yeah. No doubt
sure.
in my mind.
So then the question, we'll go back to this, is who sold it to TMZ?
Right. Well, I thought that it was Dakota, and I thought that I read that, but I saw something on something this morning about TMZ saying that it wasn't Dakota that sold it.
What I read this morning, it was an individual. Harvey said it was an individual.
But how did you get the video? How did you get the video?
So what it came out is legally, when there's anything with the child, the courts will not release it.
Got it.
So I've read that, and there's just no way.
I don't think the courts
really. So it came from somebody, and my assumption again is if it went to TMZ, somebody sold it.
Yes, me too. Yeah. And I think it was either Dakota or someone close to Dakota.
Or doing it for him. I don't know.
Yes,
doing it for him,
exactly. A proxy of his.
Or was it another cast member on the show that didn't like her? Whatever conspiracy theory
because
that
some
you
of
have.
they're saying that some of the Mormon wives from the cast of that didn't want to be taping
but they
with her anymore.
They altered the season as well. They're not shooting the Mormon's wife.
Yeah, well, they've paused. Who knows? They'll probably
but she was a cast. She was a cast in the show anyway. I mean, she was a trend wreck in the show.
But going back to what Chock is saying, I agree with you. I think at the heart of all of this are the people that the collateral damage of it all, and the fact that I guess her kid with Dakota is temporarily been taken away from her.
That's what I've read.
Yes, that's what I've read.
If that's the case, it's sort of like, where is this going? It's just heartbreaking in a way.
So let me throw this one at you. When you get older, you see these swings from politics going left, right, stock market, wars, all that. Will this help us get back to a moral equilibrium? So I'm trying to think of the positive
Such a
thing.
Good question.
Is because, this is going to put other networks are going to think about this because you look at Jerry Springer and that stuff and how popular that was. And you look at some of the things these other stars have done and said. Will this hopefully bring us back? Because I'm just right in the middle.
Yeah.
I just, I'm thinking.
It could.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to hurt.
Yes.
Because some people are going to go, I don't want that in my life. That's not positive. That's not good. But just think about it.
Yeah. No, I think that's something very good to think about. And it sort of, resets for a little while. It's just that we're on such a, everything goes so fast. So that reset might not be as long as
term,
we want it to be.
Yes.
But it's quite possible.
But as we all grow older, things change.
Yeah.
And we can't really control them.
Yeah.
So
I would love for them to go back and find some people who who really want to find someone.
But again, you know, I mean,
just don't
they
think
had
she'll
in the
like it.
season of Aaron, I believe there was Aaron. They had some wonderful young women they could have picked up with.
Wait, the season of Aaron?
The Bachelor, the Bachelor.
Okay.
What
I
was
don't know
his
if I
name?
remember him. I'm
Aaron?
so
Yeah,
sorry.
she was Dina. Dina was in the
No, I don't remember.
Was that
him.
Grant's?
Grant.
Oh,
Grant. Yeah, the season with Grant.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Dina was part of the season. They had
Yes.
beautiful. Paritza was a beautiful. I mean, they could have picked up any one of them. And
They're coming on in a couple of weeks. We'll
I
talk
know they're
about-
coming
we're
up.
gonna
Yeah,
talk-
but I mean, I think to me, going out of the box, and that's what the new producers try to do, go out of the box and bring in somebody who's got
Yeah.
so much controversy, who backfire them. So I don't know if they're going to, but I personally think they will hear it because it's got too much controversy. There is
I
too
don't
much-
think ABC is going to.
I don't think ABC will hear it,
Right.
but they will definitely, someone's going to air that season.
Yeah.
This is, you know, I mean, they're in the hook for a $20, $30 million production without counting the hundreds of millions of dollars of commercial. So this is a lot of money.
So there's just so many things to unpack about it. I mean, and the other piece is the guys, those 22 guys, maybe a couple even more because they have backups.
I don't feel bad
They
for
took
those
off
guys.
Of work. No, don't they? Don't you have to take off for work for a couple months?
Yeah,
And-
6 months. But I don't feel, you know what, and we talk about that in
Yeah.
our podcast. I don't feel so bad with them because you got a 28 years old who's going to be involved with a 31 years old with 3 children.
So you think that they
I think
signed
they
up
would-
for
yeah.
it?
This
But
is-
they
it's-
deserve it.
No, well, this is, to me, it's the U.S. military. It's 100% voluntary.
Yeah.
There is no guarantee with this.
Okay.
I mean, be an adult. I mean, you took a risk. You could have been gone the first day. You could have gone the whole time.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going to happen. I mean, you don't know if America's going to like you, want you.
That's a great
You have
point.
no idea.
Yeah.
Because when you're done, they might keep you for a day, but then you're back to reality.
Right. It's
So, I mean, you know, and missed opportunities, I'm going, it's...
Yes, and I think you made that point a little bit earlier, and I think there's also some talk that they would be able to sue, and I just don't think there's going to be any weight to that because I would assume that in the contract it's like you may not be used at all. Yeah. So
When I went out,
and what
to-
are the damages really?
When I went out to
Right.
L.A., I mean, they in the contract, and they go, you are not guaranteed a spot, which I would do the same thing. Going,
Yes.
I actually thought when I went out there, I'd have to screen test or do something. I had no idea. And I get out there and they go, okay, go here we go. Here we go. So,
Right.
But, you're going to have out of 25 people, you're going to have some that go, well, woe is me. Other ones
Yes.
go, this is just life. So
right.
whatever.
Right. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to change a little bit the subject. I want to talk a little bit about Joan and Chock's relationship.
Yeah, we were going there. Going there. Great.
The
Great.
challenge of the long distance, the financial.
I mean, I'm sure you get asked a lot about that, right?
Oh, yeah.
About
When do we
the
get
long
married? I
distance.
hear that all
know.
the time. What's the date?
And I know your answer to that, is that you've got a lot of kids. You guys have 6 between the two of you, right? And
Correct.
you've got weddings and things like that. But is it really even? Do you even have to get married?
We
Do you
both
even want to?
kind of feel that way.
Okay, yes.
And it's a little alternative. With
Yeah.
younger people, they want families, they want kids, they want that. And, with Joan, she's been up front because people go, she's got 4 kids, extremely close with every one of them. And then she's got 3 grandbabies and 2 on the way. And that's a big part of her life. But I got to tell you, it's fun. We get to go do stuff. And part of it's work, part of it's just, I'm going to New York this weekend. I'm going to meet her there. I'm going to spend time with my daughter.
Yeah.
And so it's a
that's
lot
Taylor that moved to New York, right?
it's a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
it's a lot of fun. So why do you think then that there's such this the fan base just they're in a lather about wanting you guys to get married? Why do you think it's so conventional and traditional? Yeah.
Well, I think from a positive is there's people that are invested in the franchise and they want that success.
Yes.
And so while we're
They see
together,
that
it's
with the
not
stamp
it's
of
not it's
marriage.
stamped or a locked
Right.
in of going. I think that would, but we're people. We're going to live our own lives,
Yeah.
and we just kind of have fun with it.
Yeah.
So what
We
is
do.
what is the challenge of your relationship? What is the thing you would like to change? Do you think the distance between you and her and where you live and the lifestyle you have in Wichita versus the lifestyle she has? So
Right, you said you don't see people in Wichita.
People always go, he's so serious, but I got to tell you, there's so many people that go, I wish I'd have what you guys have, because you get this freedom. I'm still heavily working, and then she's got her kids, so Monday through Thursday, I'm working my tail off.
Yes.
And the nice thing is now is you can get somewhere. I just did something where I said, it was a Chamber of Commerce deal going, I can work in LA till 8 o'clock, and I'm at work back in Kansas at 8 in the next morning.
Right.
So, and that's a lifestyle that I've been a sales guy, I've been on the road, been in management. That doesn't bother me at all. And you do get some freedom, but there are times to answer Pascal's inquiry there are those times you want to wake up with someone.
Yeah.
You want to, but fortunately we've been together, a year and a half, 15, 16 months, almost every other week we're together.
Okay.
So, I mean, and we make that a priority.
Right. And when
We
you
really
are
do.
together, you have that quality time because you've sort of made that, right?
Yeah.
That
What you have to with a relationship,
Right.
if it's valuable to you, put the time and effort.
Right.
And with both CK and Pascal, they got to hear me on the phone with Joan. We talk every day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really kind of good conversations, but we both know each other so well. She's like, you're at work, I'll talk to you later.
Right.
Or she's got grandkids, or she's doing something with work. There isn't well, you had to go, or, that's that maturity that just works well for us.
Right. Like, what do you think, Pascal? Do you feel it needs the stamp of marriage?
No, I think in
Or
our
wedding.
age,
Yeah,
I think in our age there is no need of marriage. We have our children, we have our family. I think in our age we're looking for a companion to spend time together and have a good time together.
Right.
And I agree with Chock. Sometimes not living together give you a little bit of freedom. I'm the kind of guy who need a long leash. I can be smuggled.
No one can hold you back.
I need some space. So, to me, having someone, a partner who I see 2-3 times, or 2 times a day or once a week, I'm happy with it. You know what I'm saying? So I could understand.
To be honest, it sounds like a perfect partnership.
If we were all honest,
right? I like
it's
my
going-
own shows at night. I like to watch my own shows in my bed at night.
Exactly.
My husband travels a little bit, and he hadn't been for a while, and now he's back to it. And I hate to say it, I sort of enjoy that
It's
time
nice
in
to
the
have your
house
space.
alone.
You don't have to entertain. You don't have to talk. You could just relax,
Yeah.
and there is no
be honest.
pressure. I think relationships are challenging. There is, and on top of it, in where we are in our age, we have to deal with her family and my family, her children and my children. Mm-hmm. It's not easy to combine everything because I know I've been in a relationship where a woman had children and the girl loved me and the boy couldn't stand me.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah.
I think to me, it's difficult to blend two family together. But the biggest challenge for me is the distance. I want to be able to have quick access to my partner, for my needs.
What are you saying
We
there?
always get back to the men's needs.
For the needs, and then it's okay.
Yeah.
Well, you've got to be respectful of each other. And then there's another thing that as older people, you'll hear this, well, I've trained them. And Joan has trained me, and I've trained. So you get used to somebody, and you've been through that. So the little stuff isn't that much.
Yes.
And she, the other day, she goes, well, you could make a reservation at a restaurant. And I go, but you're so good at it, and it matters to you. If you want me to do it, let me know. Train me, and I'll take one. Right. But I mean, she likes the nice restaurant. She likes the nice spot, like Pascal. And for me, I'm like,
I make the reservation. No one make reservation
I'm
for
like,
me.
if there's spaghetti and meatballs, I'm good.
Yes. Yeah. No, you guys have made it work. But I do think, and I love to hear that you're not letting sort of that external pressure nor internal pressure sort of get to you. You're enjoying this and doing it. And I do think the blending of the families is what a lot of people, I asked for questions in advance with you, and I got some DMs about the blending of the families. That's the question.
Well, Jamie, we are so fortunate because all of our kids get along.
It's so good.
And I mean, that's one of the better things of it. In New York City, my son came, she had a daughter-in-law. At the beach last year, we had all the family together. They all get along, and they're all the same age bracket.
Right.
So there's just no issues there. And I go play golf with 3 of her 2 boys and a son-in-law. So, I mean, that's gone very, very well.
Yeah.
It has. And I've actually enjoyed it.
So your kids are not in Wichita with you. One is just moved to New York, right? Your daughter.
She was in L.A.
Okay.
And then spent about 5 months. She's kind of a vagabond.
Okay.
And then now she's in New York. My son's in Charlotte.
Okay.
And then I do want to tell you, we're going to go back to regress about the internet. I took 6 months off. Well, not 6 months, 6 weeks.
Okay.
I'm not even looking at any comments. I go on there and somebody goes, well, he's not a good father. You never see a picture. And I do want to tell people this is my son wants no part of it. And I got to respect that. That's just not him. Where my daughter's kind of an Instagram and people, you really don't know what the dynamics are of a family. And especially when your kids don't live in the same place. But I mean, we see each other. He'll come back. We went to Africa last year, but that just kind of hit home. And that's that doom scrolling that people are just, or just being an asshole.
Yeah, I would think it would be very hard.
So let me ask you another question to say on the same subject. I know that you are successful. You have your own business. You're doing very well. Let's say then you have a job and you earn a respectable living. How challenging will it be financially for you to be able to spend time with Joan? Because it's not cheap, flying back and forth, to sometimes stay at the hotel. There is definitely a cost associated to it. So if you take the average people who can afford that, how do you make it work? I mean, I know we have FaceTime and we could look at each other, but it's not the same. Jamie and I don't like to have people in Zoom. We like to have people in a hot seat because I could look at you, I could feel your expression,
your
energy.
We're old school that way.
You're old school that way. But to me, so how do you, financially, what kind of burden it is on both of you to be able to spend time with each other?
Well, I'll paraphrase it by this. My house is paid for. My kids are out of the house. I make a decent living. So, and this is just, it's a price of the relationship to live apart.
Yeah.
Air travel's kind of gotten expensive lately, but it's really not that bad. Other people would, that's going to be their choice going, I don't want to spend that money. I don't want to do it. But we actually like going to new places and doing things. And we're at that. We've had a lot of work to do in towns, New York to LA. And then now we're like, Joan went to, I really like Florida. I've had 2 homes there. And she went down there with some friends and she goes, I really like it. So we're going to go to St. Pete the next time. So it's kind of a fantasy. It might not be real life, but it's our real life. And it's
I
working.
love that. It might not be real life, but it's ours.
So I'm going to be a very direct. Who pay for all that? You pay? She pay? I mean,
are you paying?
No, because I refuse not to pay.
Yeah.
I mean, before I was the golden goose and we want to go to a trip and it's $30,000 and Pascal pay for it. Now, no, you want to go to a trip, you got to pay your ways. Or at least participate in paying your ways. To me, so when you go to Florida or you go to Vegas or you go to Vegas, how did the finance work between the two of you?
Actually, Joan's very good at that. And she's extremely good.
There's not much that she's not good at.
Yeah, and it's really never been an issue. And I did one time when I go, hey, I want you to come back to Wichita. And did that because it was a nonprofit that I was involved in, and it was a favor coming back. But usually she goes, I get it. I'll pick this up. I'll do that. We've not had a problem. But we've got some brands that we work with. One's the Archer Hotel that takes very good care of us in New York City. And it's great. They're just a great partner, a great place. And we'll shoot some videos and say, so we do get a discount on a lot of things. And the air travel, again, I don't have a house payment. So it's not, it's not
But
killing me.
you are different than most people. Most people has mortgage. Most people are on designated credit card. All those kids who are in the Bachelorette or even some of them on the Bachelor who don't have the financial stability to be able to get involved and travel like that.
Well, long distance probably isn't for everyone.
No,
I mean,
it's not for me.
That's really what it is. It's
not
not for me.
I have the last year and a half, no regrets. No regrets at all. And that's just, it's a cost of a relationship. Business guy, cost of doing business, but no regrets. And when I came out last time, Pascal bought my airline ticket, but it was like $400 or $500. It's not, if you go overseas, it's very expensive, but we're not, I don't want to, belittle anything, but it's just not that much money.
Right. You don't want to minimize the cost of travel and all of that, but right now for you, it works.
Yes.
And it's not that much. Right. It sounds good to me. I would just say that I do think from what I could, I could tell is I just think the long distance thing is probably for some people and not for others, depending on, your economic situation, but also just of some people want to be with someone all of the time. But we do talk a lot about the Golden Bachelor and Golden Bachelorette and this idea that Pascal has, which I think is brilliant, which is having it be one
locally
city, right? Or surrounding cities.
Geography, like Chicago in the
Chicago's an amazing
Chicago.
place.
I mean, you look Chicago, you get 13 million people, and you tell me you can find 25 single widows.
Probably not.
Okay, and this is just my assertion, my opinion. That makes logical sense, but then you've got the demographics of the show. I think one of the big reasons I was cast was I was a Midwestern conservative boy.
Yeah.
And
You
they
just
want
say
one
Wichita.
of those. But they want, they
Yeah.
want, they've got, and they did a brilliant job of casting, I think, for Joan's season. Absolutely. 24 different personalities, completely different. And they have to think about that. That's part of it. But I do think I was just the guy from the Midwest that they wanted. Because you look at the other guys, they got surfer boys, they've got finance guys, they've got cowboy from, Iowa or Texas or something like that. I agree with you, but to sell the show and to keep everybody interested. So you see with sports, and it was back when the Royals played the St. Louis team, the Cardinals. They called it the I-70. No one watched it because it wasn't the coast, and you don't have that much of a population.
Yeah. No, I hear you on that. And definitely from a sports standpoint, they talk a lot about the markets and what sports teams have made, go into that. But I do think you both are considered Midwesterners because Pascal has been in Chicago. You've set up shop here for
years.
Millions of years.
Not that million. half a million
Just a
of
couple of years. Yeah.
Okay, half a million.
No,
years.
but I mean, and look how so different that you guys are. So I do think there's a lot of transplants in Chicago. You got people from LA. So they could cast, I think, a great season just with people in Chicago and surrounding areas that would probably be diverse and interesting enough. But
is the nation going to watch it?
Exactly.
Another 10, I think it will be good because, as we talk, Jenny and I talk in our podcast, the age difference between a man and a woman, there is a big discrepancy between what a man likes to date and what a woman could date. So I think, to me, if the
only
show...
in your world, but yes.
Yeah, it's a lot of world. So if you take a woman from 45 to 75 and you take 20 women from 45 to 75, you take 20 men from 45 to 75, put them in a room and see what happens.
Well, there is a show that you and I have talked about, not on the air, not on our podcast, but it's called The Age of Attraction. It's on
I've heard
Netflix.
a little bit about
I have not watched it yet. I feel like my husband watched an episode because there right now is a 6-year-old woman dating a 27-year-old man. And so that's the idea. It's all about, they don't know their ages and they're just dating.
I think that'd be interesting.
Yeah, you should watch it.
I'll watch it.
Homework for you.
Okay. Just send me a text, okay?
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see.
But, going back, we all have opinions of what you're interested in and what you'd like or what you'd like to see. I watched a little bit of Bachelor in Paradise. Watched my buddy CK on there, Kim and Keith. But I think throw 50 of them at some beach resort, a little bit of all age, and see what happens. Because there are some ladies that want younger guys. It's just not always, and just see what happens. But you like the personalities, and you want to see what happens, the curiosity of it.
Right. Well, I think we're sort of seeing that too, the age piece play out in another one of the shows in the franchise, Bachelor Mansion Takeover. I mean, it's a crossover because it's on HGTV.
Yeah, we watched it last night.
Oh, did you? Okay, we were loving that, and we've been talking about it. And Joan,
night.
She's still on, right?
She's still on.
Okay.
She's still on, yeah.
And I was very upset that the two Goldens, other than Joan, were, voted off early on.
Sandra.
Chris and Sandra.
Yeah.
And then, but Joan she feels. Maybe she doesn't feel as separate from the rest of the cast, or she just ingratiated herself more, or...
But remember one time, Joan's been involved with the franchise for the last couple of years. So she's been hanging with a lot of young girls.
Right.
So she's
also young and young at heart.
She's part of the franchise now. She's part of the... So there is no... You don't look at Joan and say, oh, she's a golden versus
agree.
She's part of those young kids, and I think she blended very well into the franchise. I think she's done a great job, and
we love watching her on that show.
I got to give her credit because I talked to her this morning because we watched, Pascal and I watched the third episode, and they had this contest where they had to act like a jackhammer jumping in the water or something like that. And Joan goes, I was going to do it. She goes, and part of it was, this is how competitive or, her spirit is. She goes, age doesn't have a difference. I was going to do it. And that's her.
I love that.
Yeah, and she wasn't going to back down and go, "Hey, I don't feel comfortable. I don't want to do it."
Right.
But it's all been crazy. It's been entertaining. I just wish, this season. I wish the best. It's over. It's just freaking crazy.
Yes.
It
Okay.
is.
We have on the Bachelor Mansion takeover.
Well, not the Bachelor Mansion.
which
I was
one?
just talking Taylor's season.
Oh, I
And,
see. You were sort of wrapping that up. I love that. Yes,
Yeah.
that it's over in that it's definitely not going to be on ABC. So we'll see if it gets picked up.
It
somewhere
will
else.
be
Would
there.
you
None of
watch
us-
it?
none of
Chock?
us-
Would you watch it?
Yes.
Fair question. What I will tell you is none of us knows what's going to happen.
Yeah.
They're going to shelf it forever. They're going to shelf it and then just, do a hard drive delete on it. Who really knows?
Yeah. Maybe Bravo will pick it up.
Well, I was wondering, like I mentioned, Jerry Springer, do they sell it to,
Right.
somebody
There's
that's
gotta be
just got that shock value? But, I think the other thing is we've got to let this play out and really see what happens. But in the reality TV world, in The Bachelor, this is news. And again, hopefully what I'm thinking is hopefully it brings us back a little bit to the middle.
Yes.
And
I agree with you.
And because it's interesting reading the comments, there's some people coming out now going, well, it's a train wreck. Let's just go ahead and watch it. We all know that kind of shock value of what happened, even though we can't validate that. And then others going, I don't want any part of it. But everybody's got their own opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I think it'd be interesting to see what's going to develop. But what did they show instead of that last night? The American Idol?
American
Yeah.
Idol was a rerun.
It's a rerun.
Yeah.
Okay. So I personally think they should rerun the Golden Bachelorette.
Right.
That's why, that's what we were.
We were a good season.
I tried to find it.
I mean, I was going to write the producer, say, hey, guys,
Yeah.
dude, I got an idea for you.
Yeah.
Run the Bachelorette. Run episode number 3, episode number 7, the men tell all. I think it'd be good. That's where I'm shine.
Yeah. I actually think it probably, that's just an opinion or just a, again, a wag. I think it would actually do better now than when it came out because it's interesting. I think it's because of the shit shows. People go, that was good TV.
That was
It
good
really
TV.
was. It was good TV, watching some wholesome, some people get along, that type
Yeah.
of thing. So
I agree. I mean, I'm going to say the Gary season for me is not a great season. And what
You talking the
subsequently
male
happened.
season or the
No,
gay?
I'm talking about if we go back to
The first one.
Yeah, Gary, I'm just going to say this. I think the way he treated Teresa afterward, and I don't even know the whole deal, of course, because I don't know them very well. I mean, I know Teresa, she's a friend of the show, but I just think he didn't treat her very well afterward. It didn't seem, and he didn't seem like a stand-up guy to me.
you
But the
go
show-
through 10 to 12 weeks and your personality
Yeah.
will come out.
Yeah,
You can't hide it.
Right.
And then especially after the show
right.
is,
Yeah.
I just don't,
You can
very
only
few
hide
people
it,
can
or
do
you can
that.
only hide it for so long.
long.
is
Yeah, but
really
I
what
think, I
I'm
think,
saying.
I think the way it happened to jump into a marriage without knowing each other, I think that went too fast. I mean, I like the way that Chock's handling a relationship with Joan. They're taking time, they're enjoying each other, they're spending a lot of time together and see what happens in the future. We don't need to be married.
You just really aired a lot of laundry out there, dirty laundry that I just
Through
thought
the
was
book?
really, yes, horrible.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's
what
what's
I-
terrible.
But I thought your season was amazing, and Mel's season, while we thought again he was not, he had some shortcomings or limitations maybe in the on camera aspect. Again, I think he seems like a great guy. That's the difference there. I think Mel actually, to me, seems like a great guy. I just don't think he was great on camera. He wasn't main character energy.
People don't realize how hard that
Yes,
is.
I would
Jamie.
think
It's
so.
hard.
It's,
No, I would
and
think so.
I'm the guy that just didn't know any better because
Right.
they go, "Did you have any?" And the other thing is they do a very good job hiding the camera, but some people just freeze. And it's a friend of yours that got out of the limo that froze, and he goes. He was going, la, la, la,
Right.
la, la. So
Yeah.
it just happens. And again, if people think they could get in there and just do a perfect job, it's not that easy.
It's not that easy.
Well, it's what you just said. It's easier to do someone else's job or
Right.
run someone else's business than it is, or I have opinions on it.
Yes.
So let's leave it there. Unless you had anything else that you wanted to
Do you have any
share.
rapid questions
Oh
for
yeah,
Chock?
of
Because
course
you
I
always
have
get
some-
rapid
okay,
questions.
Yeah, of course I do.
Go ahead, shoot.
Wait, do I have rapid questions for you? Okay. One word to describe Pascal, Chock, you.
Generous.
Oh, and then you one word to describe Chock.
Very.
It's two already.
No. The
Okay.
very is not a word. Very is not a word. I would say the good heart.
Oh, okay.
Good
Good-hearted. Okay, I will go with that one. What is your favorite vacation?
Africa.
Okay.
Been 3 times. Took my son there this last year, had a ball.
Yeah.
And actually, Joan was going to go, but she ended up doing something with Nancy.
Yeah,
from
she
her
went on,
season.
she
They
went on a
went
cruise.
to
On a cruise.
Mediterranean.
Yeah,
Yes.
Mediterranean cruise, yeah.
Your favorite vacation?
I love the Far East.
Yeah.
India, Laos, Cambodia, Thailand. To me, it's a completely different world than what we use here in the United States and European.
Okay. A partnership or sponsorship that you would like, or that you actually, how about this, that you think Pascal would be great for, and then Pascal, you do one for
Gucci, Prada.
Oh, yes, right.
I mean, the guy's made for it.
I
I mean, it is. That is. I mean, when
Great.
he goes, you've got to come to my closet. Back we were at the Bachelor Mansion, and I mean, everything was just perfect. But
Yeah,
good
we
for
should
him.
do a closet tour.
But
I
like my clothes. I like my clothes. I like my. That's where I spend my money.
Okay.
I like fancy clothes. I mean, it's for me. I'm not doing it for the people. For me.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, and I'm sorry, go ahead. So to answer that question too is the Cologuard I really believed in, but they've come out, and I'm not getting paid by them or anything. I don't know if it's how applicable it is, how accurate, but they're coming out with a cancer guard that's a blood test.
Ooh.
So anything proactive for cancer for your health, I would do as long as it made sense.
Yes.
So because I was trying to get an MRI and it was like 3 weeks out. So many people are. As we age, different things. So,
Yeah. Okay, good. I love that.
And for me, I think you should pursue more commercial. I think you're very, very, very good at it. You get a good presence in camera, and I think that's sometimes where I see you do more commercial about health, fitness, or whatever. Like the ensure that. I mean, you've done a great job.
well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay. One celebrity that you think, like the archetype that Pascal would maybe be good with?
George Clooney. Because they
You're
both
so
dressed.
quick, Chock. I did not
dressed
expect this.
impeccably. And Clooney's a class guy. And Pascal, my second trip here, has been a class act. He has entertained me. We have done. My only criticism, he took me to a Bears game and it was 15 degrees. And about the third quarter, I mean, there's guys with shirts out and they got babies and all this stuff. And I'm like, I'm going inside.
Yeah.
You guys can go find me. I'm from Kansas. It's cold, but it's not this cold. But he's
That
and I
late.
gotta-
Okay,
That
but
late.
I'm going to take that for.
Okay.
I took you to the Bear game because you were in Chicago. This is not what I do. You know that.
but-
I mean, I was freezing my butt off. The matter of fact, we went to Target and bought a whole wardrobe to just go to the game. I mean, I don't.
Oh, you should have seen Pascal in Target.
Yeah.
And then when he comes to Kansas, I'm taking him to Walmart.
Right.
He's like, I could not believe this. This whole suit is $100. It usually costs me $18,000, and I've got my tailor with me. So
I couldn't believe that was the $150 for a pants and a jacket.
Yeah.
And a glove and a hat.
Right. All right. Last question, because we are out of time. But Pascal, what do you think about Chock's hair, given that you are, hair is your business? I think it looks quite
Chock
good.
is a good-looking guy. He's got a good
Yeah.
head of hair. I think he's got a good style. He's got a good presence. He's
Yeah.
pretty conservative.
You could probably also do like maybe even a hair gel. Not
Okay.
now. I mean, if some hair gel would accompany.
I get
Okay,
some good.
so everybody's curious about Joan. So I got to tell you about this. So, and she's quick out of the bathroom. I was married to somebody that was not quick.
Okay.
And so she's quick. I have no complaints there. But I am 3.2 seconds. I can get out, take a towel to that, and just go like that, and I'm gone. And she does not like me for that. I mean, it is just, and I've been fortunate. My dad has a full head of hair. And okay, here's this guy in my office. I hope he's going to watch this, but he's losing his hair and he's doing the comb over.
Oh my!
And I said something, my daughter knows him, and I go, I got to say something. She goes, a man with hair cannot say anything to another man about the comb over or something like that. But
No.
he's a good guy.
That's a hard thing. That would be a hard thing. Yeah.
But I get some good gel for you, Pascal Pourel gel.
Right.
So, you know, if
I
you're,
get a whole line of product. I'd be more than happy to send it to you.
You do.
You know.
so let me, I'm going to
Yes.
close on my end if I
Yes.
can, though, is I've watched you guys from day one. I think you do a great job.
Aw.
You're a very good interviewer, and with Pascal and with all the guys we've talked about it, you know what you get. And I do have to respect him because he's always been very upfront and honest. So, and I think that's what America wants instead of the going to be politically correct or something like that, because I've seen you call out some people or give your opinion. The good thing is if you're on the negative side of it, it's just somebody's opinion. But your viewership has really grown up, and I'm proud of you guys. And that's the reason why I was here too, it was a friendship with Pascal asked me to come, but then also, if I can do anything for you, let me know. Because I wish you guys the most success.
Thank you. I'm very happy that you were here. And like I said to you when we walk here, you have a home in Chicago. Anytime you want to come here, you're more than welcome. You know that.
Yeah.
And just, as you go forward, be that open and honest, because we all believe that the series, the franchise was good to us. But you can be open and go, hey, I don't like this. Or you got a second? I got another story to tell you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're at the Happy Couples, and the fans will know about the Happy Couples. After you select, you say, okay, I want to be with this person. The network will have you come spend a certain amount of time, and it's to keep your relationship going. Very smart that they do this.
Okay.
So we went because before they air the final, we want 6 of these, and they go, we've only done like 2 or 3. And I go, well, I got the money. We're going to go see each other. And they're like, well, we can't break the secret or anything like that. So we go do it. And where was I going with the story? But
That's our age.
I know. No, you were saying just around how good-hearted, and that you could always tell. You should always say what you want, challenge things.
And so you go through these Happy Couples. Well, who knows?
Okay.
I've lost it. So, but the Happy Couples, and that is something really cool. But I will tell you, in some of the series that they've had, that's where people have gone, you're not the right person.
Oh,
you spend that time together, because we had some that were like 4 or 5 days.
Got it.
So our first one, I showed up at this incredible house that they had rented.
Yeah.
And I give Joan a hug and I go, tell me about yourself. Because it was the first time we were together.
Right.
And then we only had 5 minutes. She had to go film something. She came back and I cooked her dinner. And it was a lot of fun.
Yes.
But
I think you were going that you need to challenge things, even if you agree to everything, even though you're part of something, to challenge it in the right way. And I think your challenge was probably, we need more of these because this is real.
Yeah. And it's give people a chance.
Right.
You just never know. But be objective. And I think, I know what I was going to say is that Happy Couples. So since I hadn't watched any of the series, Joan goes, I'm going to have you watch one. And this was 2015 or 16. And it was a female lead with 24 guys. And within 5 minutes of the first one, there was a guy I didn't like. And it's amazing. And we've talked to people, and that's part of it too. It's just, was it somebody that traumatized you when you were younger? And this was probably a 3rd-generation rich kid that never worked. It had the slick back hair, and I'm going, I don't like that guy. So it's just be objective, and then, give them a chance, because there are people that come on. And I will tell you, Gil, at first he was kind of a shy guy, but from Joan's season, what a great guy.
Wow.
What a good human being.
Nice.
He's really a good guy, and I'm proud to count him as a friend.
Wonderful. Yeah. Well, I will end on this. We did a quick poll on Instagram to ask who our followers loved, which couple they loved the most. Of course, they love everyone, but you and Joan, I think it was Trista and Ryan and Catherine and Sean. And then we gave them an opportunity to give another couple. And you guys it was overwhelmingly Joan and Chock. So we're all rooting for you. Thank you again for making time for us today and for coming on. I've just had a ball.
Thank you. So you guys, I'm going to get Pascal back to Kansas. We're going to go hunting, fishing, and go in 4-wheelers. And we're going to film the whole thing. We're going to get him dirty. We're going to take him to Walmart. We're going to make him eat day-old pizza.
I would love to see some mud on Pascal. So that sounds great. We'll see it. Thanks again for listening and watching, and subscribe.